Using terminal mode on the ID52, you need either software or a hotspot box. With the Icom 705, it has a server gateway option to enter. So you can actually go on terminal mode, which I have for several times over a period of time, and don't need none of the Icom software. So that's what we're going to talk about, the two pieces of software. How well does it work with the Icom 705 and also the ID52? Compatibility with Mac systems, it will run on the iPad, it will run on MacBook Pro, will run on the iPhone. Will it run with iOS 18, or will it not run? So this is what we're going to show on this particular video, and hopefully it'll help you to make decisions there, especially if you're looking at buying a D-Star radio. Okay, we're going to talk about two pieces of software, the RS MS1i and the RS MS3i, I believe it is. And we're going to test this with the new Icom 52 Plus. So first of all, let's just launch the RS MS1i, which is a Mac version. Okay, I guess I already launched it. Let me just disconnect it. Okay, there we go. Remote control software. First thing, of course, you would hit the scan. You would have your handheld in the monitor, like for connection, and it will show up. And then you hit pair, and it will do the pairing. It's already paired, so I just have to hit it, and it's going to connect. There you go. Now this app, basically, from what I can see, it's a text app. You can use it for sending text, I believe, using digital voice. You have a repeater list. You can export the repeater list or call sign. Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm using this on an iPad, and it has the iOS 17, so it's an older iPad. It's can be a problem when you're using on a newer device. We'll touch that later. And you have application settings. I select by default because I use this a lot instead of the 705. And you have some options you can turn on. It's also used for sending pictures. So basically text, sending pictures, some configurations. Right now, set for low power. And let's put that on. GPS. Text messaging. Okay. So as you can see, it's simple, not too much. And this will be the text. Myself personally, I wouldn't have a need for it, but it was something nice to look at. Okay, and you can share pictures. Okay, let's switch over to the other app, which I think it's probably be of more value. Okay, I'm just going to quit this. And then hit go on with the iCloud. Okay, again, you would have to connect to it, do a scan. Of course, mine's already done, so I just select it. Then you hit the start button. Okay. Wonder if I have my handheld properly set up for this. Ah, yes. There is one problem. Well, not a problem, but a configuration. It is expecting your handheld to be in terminal mode, and I'm not in terminal mode. So I'm just going to take my handheld right here, go to DV Gateway, and go to terminal mode. There you go. A little thing could stop you. So now there is a few bit of configuration that you need to do. Have the unit in terminal mode, but you also need to have your gateway information. Let me stop this, because it's going to ask for your terminal call sign, and actually I'm going to clear that and make that a Z, because I've decided to give the Z for the ID 52. The 705 has an X, I believe. Okay, screen enabled, allowed call list. You know, if there's several people, several hams, they can put their call signs in there that are authorized to access this. The 4000 port you need on, and normally you should be able to configure automatically using the UDP hole punch. Gateway, of course, is going to be global. And we got the terminal AP call sign taken care of. Then the next thing is enter a server IP. A simple way to do is find an address. For example, if you look at a list of D-stars with the XLX and go through the list, find one that you might be interested in, click on it, and it'll take you to their site where you can then copy the IP domain. You don't need the HTTP and everything else before and afterwards. Just select what's in the middle, and in this case, this one is in Alberta, Calgary. Okay, there we go. So now we're ready. And it was much quicker because I had it. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to my MacBook Pro M1 chip, and I'll put a pause here for a minute. Okay, I'm at this site, and if I was to transmit on my handheld, and just see what happens here. VA6ALY. I heard a beep. And there you go. VA6ALY is testing. Okay, I have made contact with people on here. His repeater is not that far, but it's on the wrong side of the mountain, so only when propagations are good can I work it directly. Otherwise, most of the time, no. And I don't really have an outside antenna. Now, what's interesting, there is some information on the other screen I'm going to show you in a minute, but before I do, if you're looking for a list, there you go. You select one that you like, and and some servers will provide you the address, which I believe will be probably this one right here. But you have to put it in and you have to try it. Okay, and let's try another one here. Canada. Okay, that one for some reason doesn't want to get past Apple. Okay, let's try another one. There you go. It just uses the IP itself. And that's where you get it, and you just paste it in. Okay, let me just switch back to the other one. If you notice, here at the bottom left, it gives you a status. When someone transmits, it will give me some information on that screen. Testing VA6ALY. There you go. So, okay, let me go to another one where you might experience some problems. I will stop here again. Okay, I'm going to launch the MS1i first. Okay, before I do that, let's go into a different screen. In this case, we're using the Icom 705, which is also beside me. I'm paired, so let's go in. Okay. Now, this is actually an iPhone, iPad app. I'm able to run it on the MacBook Pro because it's an M1 chip, and it seems to work. Again, you have all these options. Computerless. I can download it, away it goes. And application settings. The only thing I find that is a concern to me, I'm not sure if it's going to be a problem, is the IC705 has a transceiver ID of A4H. It doesn't allow me to put an H in there. Unless the software ignores the third digit, I don't know. I know the application itself just uses the 2 digits, and if I had the Icom 52, it would be only a 2 digit. Okay, let's again, text, transceiver settings. My 705, that's on. Internal, let's put on auto. Output, okay. You can share pictures, you got a map, received, and so forth. Okay, let me quit this one. And now I'm going to launch another one. Again, let me go to a different window. Oops. Screen timeout if you want that enabled. Again, if you need it, or you can just disable it. I usually have that on. Gateways, global, and I believe it was an X I was using here, so I'm just going to put an X in there. Okay. I'm going to use the same terminal and gateway information. Now, for this to work, I have to first go into terminal mode on the Icom 705. DV gateway, terminal mode. Okay, now it's on. And let me just enter the right address in there, XLX 197B. Now this is a slight problem I'm experiencing. On the MacBook, I had no issues connecting on Bluetooth, but I had trouble communicating. Let me try this. Okay, Bluetooth is connected. And the only way I was able to get it working is I would go into the Bluetooth settings and turn on the echo. Normally, echo is turned off on most scenarios. Once in a while, it will time out. Okay, and let me just go back to this window. Let's see what happens here. Okay, I went through. And 12:30. Okay, first, I have CQ standing setting there, which is not what I want. Okay, iPad got disconnected. I was experimenting using digital voice on Simplex, talking to different radios, and for everyone to hear, I have to use the CQ. Okay. So I get this error once in a while. No answer from the transceiver. So there is an issue with this setup to talk to my IC705. I tried it on another iPad that had the M1 chip and Bluetooth issue. It will not connect Bluetooth. So I believe it's an iOS 18 issue. And on my iPhone 12, again, I have iOS 18. And in this particular case, it would tell me that the terminal AP call sign is invalid, when in fact it is. So I never get to the point of even connecting to a Bluetooth. While here on my M1 MacBook Pro, using the latest Sequoia, I believe 15.2 or something like that. Let me see how about this Mac. It's 15.2. There you go. Okay, there is one more thing I should mention. On my Icom 705, I don't need none of these apps because I could enter the server IP domain on my Icom 705. However, on the Icom ID 52 Plus, you don't have that option. It's missing. It's no longer there, the server IP domain. I'm assuming the reason for that is because it doesn't have Wi-Fi. It's just Bluetooth. If it had Wi-Fi, they probably could have done it. So, remember, with the Icom 705, you can do terminal mode. You don't need none of these apps, and you don't have the hassle of incompatibilities. Even Icom, I believe, if you download it, will tell you there are issues with some systems and setups. So they're aware of it. Hopefully they'll fix it sooner than later. I guess it's a bit of catch-up work for them. So if you're in an area where there are no D-Star repeaters, you're basically have to depend on terminal mode. Well, maybe the 705 would be the better way to go. Otherwise, you will need to use this program, and it may or may not work on your system, depending on the version and how quickly they fix the issues, or you end up getting hotspot box, which is I personally don't want because I know I'm not going to be on D-Star that often. It'd be only occasionally. Everything that I want to do is readily available on FM, which is why I'm trying to decide between the ID 5100, which has D-Star for the mobile, which I hardly will use, and I'm concerned about the display too. I wonder if it's going to get washed or not very good for mobile applications. Hard to say. I had to get some feedback on that. And the other one is the 2680, whatever. It's basically identical to the 5100, except it doesn't have D-Star, and the display is a little bit better, I believe. There's a few more tips I have, but I'll cut this one short just in case you're interested in trying out these apps and you're in an area where you'll have to use terminal mode, don't want to buy hotspot device, which are crazy prices right now. If you bring one from Europe there, it's almost the price of this handheld. Again, any questions? Feel free to ask in the comments. I certainly do my best, and I would appreciate if you subscribe and thumbs up. I'm going to have another video. It's going to dealing with how to set up your radio to talk simplex on digital voice and be able to hear each other. Until next time, bye. Forgot to mention, with the MS1i app, it's great for working D-Star using the repeater, local repeaters, while the other one is strictly a gateway software. I mentioned there about the Icom 5100. It's a D-Star unit. My concern is it may be washed out too much white for mobile use. I suspect it might be a complaint. I am not sure. So I'm then looking at this other unit. Okay, I need to replace my mobile unit, which I sold a while back, and was looking at the IC2730. It doesn't have D-Star. The screen is similar, but I don't know, it seems like it is more readable, but I still had a concern about it that may not be ideal display. I love the display on the Icom 705. The Icom ID 52A, it's not as good as the Icom 705, but it's more than adequate. So I heard about something else, so let me show you the next one. Okay, this is the same model, Icom 2730, except it's called the Black Edition. Now, that looks like the same as the Icom 705 and perhaps very close to the ID 52A. I don't know the price, plus it won't be available until February. I don't need it until spring anyways, if I did want one. So it looks like I'll just have to wait and see. Okay, please subscribe, would be appreciated. And any comments or any suggestions or any corrections that you feel need to be done, let me know, and I'll be glad to correct. Thank you. Have a nice day.